Hey, it's Paradox contradicting themselves once again with a second installment of The Horror Within. For this episode, I would like to take a more serious topic than deep dives into horror media. So, for this episode, I'll be talking about existential theory and the very concept of living. This is for sure a rather bizarre topic for me to explain, but I'm extremely fascinated by it, so I decided to make a video about it. If you're not familiar with existential theory, here's an excerpt from a Healthline article. Existential theory is a centuries-old philosophy. It embraces personal freedom and choice. It purports that humans choose their own existence and meaning. Philosophers believe that self-awareness and self-respect were the only way to know your own identity. They believe that personal evolution was necessary because things constantly changed. Life was always evolving. The only constant was a person's responsibility to decide in the moment what they wanted to be and how they wanted it to be. This basically sums up our own identity for existence, as it is dictated by our level of self-awareness and self-respect. If you really sit down and think about what you have amounted to, you can trace it to self-awareness and self-respect. And there are two ways to go about it: a positive outlook or a negative outlook. What I mean by this is that if you have a negative outlook, you say that all the time spent on everything was worthless and that you have amounted to nothing. This shows low self-awareness and low self-respect, as most people have a tendency to degrade their self-respect and crumble their worth, leading to anxiety and depression. Not just any anxiety or depression. No. This is a special type of anxiety and depression. This is existential depression, which, gives you existential dread. The existential dread are moments when individuals question whether their lives have meaning, purpose, or value, and are negatively impacted by contemplation. You may be asking, what's the horror in this, as horror is in the title? Well, this is quite a scary phenomenon if you really think about it, but it isn't at the same time. When I refer to horror of existing, I refer to a mindset that drives a person to turmoil. A mind that has to know the answer to everything, and if it doesn't, it goes crazy. That's why existential theory is important. When you dread existence, you either hate what you've become or you have taken the time to realize that whatever we do won't matter at the end, and there is absolutely nothing, just as there is nothing before you were born and after you die. That is why people result with the fact that life is useless. And life is useless in whatever we do, so it doesn't matter to anybody once we're dead, right? That is a completely false statement. This mentality has flaws. Why? Because people see existential dread as a secret that no one knows about, and if they do know about it, they become the same person that the person who explains it to them. A person with nothing to live for, with existential depression. I don't think that's right. Existential theory is not something meant to build a crisis over, but to make meaning out of. We dictate what we decide to live for. No matter how dumb or stupid people think your reasoning for living is, it doesn't matter. As long as you decide to make an effort, it will all be worthwhile, as you get to see another day. Another day of emotions, the very reason what makes you special. The way you decide to react to certain situations is worth living. But most important is experience. What we experience today, tomorrow, or 1 year from now.